What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. And today's video we're going to go with the weekly tactics update as usual. First of all, commiserations to Liverpool, Man City. Fantastic comeback, and for us Arsenal fans, I believe nothing to say, just more misery. But going into tactics. Now there's a couple of things I want to mention. If you are new here, you can probably skip to about a minute in, but I'd highly recommend you listen to the beginning first. This setup that I have here is basically a set in stone, but it can be interchanged with things that you like. So I know, for example, so in this attacking one, I have my 4-1-2-1-2 that I uploaded yesterday. Me personally, I still prefer the 3-5-2, but I know the majority of you will prefer the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, and that's why I put this one in. So we still got ultra defensive formation to close the game out. We still got a balanced formation. We've got an attacking formation, and then we've got a formation if we're losing to press the game. As I said, I prefer now the 4-2-2 over the 4-4-2. And I think most of you guys will as well. The 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, although it's good, I still prefer the 3-5-2 because the 3-5-2 is basically a 4-1-2-1-2 in the middle with a left mid and right mid, which of course makes it much more attacking. So that's something I just want to mention. So feel free to chop and change and add other tactics in. So if you do like, my 4-3-2-1, my 4-5-1, any of those tactics, feel free to chop and change those in. But going into tactics itself, this is of course the ultra defensive tactic. I don't think I'll ever will be changing this. This is the really good tactic for completely closing out the game. Those who complain about this formation, the truth is it's your fault. If you can't defend with 5 defenders, don't forget you have the defenders on drop between defenders ends up making a back 5 plus 2 CDMs. That is your fault. And people keep saying, oh, it's a tactic. Never blame a tactic. Always look at your gameplay first, then blame a tactic is what my best advice is for those that really want to improve and critique your gameplay. I know people don't complain about it, but of course there's going to be a few number of people that do, and they write down a comment down below, oh, the 4-3-2 maybe concede 2 goals, 3 goals in the last 90 minutes. You can all guess whose fault that is. This is still a very defensive formation. It's one only to close the game out. I wouldn't use this if it's 70 minutes. I'll use this, for example, 80 minutes, 75 maybe, or if you're up against constant pressure, that's when I use this tactic. Instructions, everyone's on comeback and defense. Stay on edge of the box. Left mid and right mid are also on comeback, stay wide. Strikers on false 9. Both CDMs on cut passing lane, stay by attacking and cover center. And then a centre mid is dropped between defenders, okay? And then you got the left back and right back on stay back, conservative, and overlap. So what happens here is when you're attacking, you're going to have a back 5 and 2 CDMs. That's what makes it so hard to break down. As long as you know, at least you don't run out, as long as you don't run out with your centre backs, it's basically impossible to concede with this formation unless your opponent does something very well or he scores a good goal. There's a very low chance of you scoring a BS goal or a rebound just because the amount of players there are there, as long as you don't make the mistake. The 4-2-3-1 still remains to be the most, I suppose you can say, balanced formation. That's the one that I use the entirety of the game. I'll let you just copy and paste these tactics. And these are the instructions. Stay central, get in behind, come back in defense. Lama ran or come back in defense. Central cam on get into the box for cross for the down the wing driven passes. Both CDMs on cut passing lane, stay back while attacking and cover center, and left back and right back both on stay back, conservative and overlap. We did bring that back. So I would stay, and when I start the game, I would normally start on this 4-2-3-1. If I am winning 2-1 and I can control the game, I would still use this formation, and that's why it has to stay in. I'll only use this formation if my opponent goes on to constant pressure, and the key thing is I am struggling. If you are struggling, that is your key to go to the more ultra defensive formation. That's just kind of my advice. 4-1-2-1-2, this is the one that I released yesterday. As I said, I still prefer the 3-5-2, but I know 80% of you guys will still prefer the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation. So if you're wondering about the 3-5-2 tactics and you're new here, just watch last week's video. Everything is in there, and you can just skip to the 3-5-2 tactics. For those of you that are watching this today, these are the 4-1-2-1-2. You may prefer this over the 3-5-2. And of course, we have one of the strikers on stay central, stay forward, get it behind. The other one on balanced, get it behind. And you can put this one on stay forward if you want to as well. I explained this in yesterday's video. Cam on stay forward, get into the box for cross. left centre mid, right centre mid, get inside the box for a cross, and they are both on getting behind, get forward, should I say. You can put one of them, for example, the more defensive one, or if you struggle, on balanced. The CDM is on cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, cover centre. Left back, right back's on stay back. Feel free if you wanted to also use overlap and leave it on balanced. But again, I'd recommend stay back and just trigger them manually yourself. Overlap doesn't make that much of a difference. Someone asked this question. They're still going to be on the outside anyway. Overlap will just make them a tiny bit wider in reference to this yellow line here. Whereas overlap, without overlap, would be like kind of like within this radius. But they're still, don't forget, they're not left mids and right mids. They just kind of linger around. They don't really attack as you'd like to in a 3-5-2. And that's why I prefer the 3-5-2. You've got 2 CDMs, a cam, 2 strikers, and a left mid, right mid. So the 3-5-2 is more attacking for me, and that is why I prefer it. So if you're ever going to push these players going forward, I'd highly recommend the 3-5-2. And while I'm here, I might also plug my pet. Of course, this video is sponsored by anyone else. No, it's sponsored by my Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description for those that want to get better at FIFA. You can come join my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description and is pinned in the comment section down below. If you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is, of course, the NealGuides guarantee. And of course, we've got all the 3-5-2 videos in regards to that as well. Now, the 4-2-2 stay central. One's on comeback, one's on stay forward. Both Lam and Ram come back in defense. CDMs, apologies for that, on cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, cover center for both. Feel free if you want to put the more attacking variation or one of the more attacking players on get forward or balance, but I leave them both on stay back. I trigger them myself. Left back and right back on stay back, no overlap, and these are the tactics. So this is a more of a, okay, I'm losing 1 or 2-0. I'm struggling. This is more like, okay, I need to change another formation. This would be a pressing. Now, what I would say is you can also use team press if you want to, or you can also, don't forget, use constant pressure. So you can also add constant pressure in as well. That's what I'd recommend as well. So you can add constant pressure if you're really, really losing. As I said, look, these videos are getting, there's only going to be one. I'm trying to make a 4-2-3-1 attacking variation of that. That will probably come out next week. But this and this, I don't see really going anywhere, to be honest. I only see realistically these two changing, but to be honest, I only see this slot over here. And for those of you that want to try something out, I would say keep this, keep this, keep this, and you can change this. So if you prefer the 4-5-1, the 3-5-2, the 4-3-2-1, feel free to slot that in instead of this one. I would say give the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation a try. Even if you do prefer the 3-5-2, a lot of you guys will prefer the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation because, of course, these players on stay back while attacking. That means you have a back four. If you're going to commit these players forward, in my opinion, you might as well just use the 3-5-2 because it's more attacking. And that way you have a back three and you're still more attacking. So my best advice is just go with a 3-5-2 if you're going to commit these two players forwards. If not, stay with a 4-1-2-1-2. And a lot of players have been saying to me, look, hey, no, I understand that, but the 3-5-2 for me is just a bit too weak when I get countered. Now, of course, once you get better at the game, you'll understand how it creates a back five. But of course, momentarily, you only have a back three. And people they can see a lot of goals because they're very aggressive and they do a typical run out with the centre backs, even if they don't mean to when they're frustrated. So a back four is a bit more stable. I would say once you get better and you trust self-defending, a back three is pretty easy. You know, when I first started 3-5-2 in FIFA 19, I used to defend in the 5-4-1 and I had a similar problem. And what you need to do is, remember, you need fast players here. If you can put all fullbacks as your back three in a 3-5-2, you are laughing. And that's what I'd recommend if you're going to be playing a 3-5-2. So I'll just show you, for example, here. If you're going to be playing a 3-5-2, you need fast players here. I don't care what YouTuber told you what or whatever. Fullbacks still work. And I remember at one time everyone's laughed at me. No one laughed when everyone copied the meta then. But it's not been nerfed. It's been nerfed to some extent. But as long as you have a high defensive work rates, you're fine. To be honest, these are more right backs and left backs. So what I'd recommend is just put a native right back or a native left back in these roles. And if you're really worried and you're like, I'm still not sure, then you can put a native centre back in his position. as long as they've got good pace is what I would say, and agility balance, I think is very, very important, because you don't want to get down with an over the ball top, because people are saying, hey, no, someone plays a 4-1-2-1-2, I've got a 3 versus 3. And that is why you can argue the 4-1-2-1-2 might be more beneficial to a lot of you guys as opposed to 3-5-2. Hence why I'm saying try the 4-1-2-1-2. Even if you're a 3-5-2 fan, give it a try, see if you like it, and then decide from there. But that is, of course, the weekly tactic setup. I had surgery, that's why I got no face cam. So I've been very, very ill, and I've actually not yet played the weekend league, but I have qualified, I believe. I think I have anyway. I think I have. I've not actually played. I've not even played playoffs yet, so I'll get those over and done with, and of course I'll bet games I can in the next couple of days. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and of course I'll catch you next time. Peace out.